difficult decision here when picking a winner.
So
and they beat them last time they played. They beat them in the last regional as well. So surely this is a time for Solary to do what they're supposed to have been doing all season and, you know, contesting for those top spots.
So the reason why I've actually got Johnny to agree with me there is that when I end up being wrong, he's not allowed to have a go at me. And when we get to his prediction in the next round, I will not be giving the same favor back.
I've been outsmarted here. This has backfired immensely.
This is a rare time. Just ask me to do some maths live podcast, mate. It'll all come flooding back to your side. Let's get ourselves into this, though. Win this one, and you are through to the playoffs. Lose it, and you drop down to take either Atlantide Wave or Team Liquid to qualify. And definitely going to have yourself a little bit more of a difficult matchup, but you'll be happy just to get through to that top 8. Solary, I believe you mentioned earlier on, Johnny, already qualified for the major.
Yes.
As for BS+, a great first regional for themselves. Second one, not quite as solid. Still trying to chase up for that top 9.
Yeah, Solary are in that major already. They're looking, you know, they're kind of hoping that teams like Dignitas and Giants struggle today to make it easier for them to get into top 6. But they've got one job to do, and they're doing it. 1-0 already against BS+, focusing on themselves to start off the day. And unfortunately there for BS+, usually in these kind of pinch situations, the ball will go somewhere. There, it just, you know, stayed exactly where it was, and it's too easy for Solary to clean up.
That was the 1 in a million where they just boxed the ball. I don't think I've seen that, really. Well, impressive way to concede. I'll give them that.
Oh.
Astral didn't. Yeah, he didn't want to trust that Farah might get dunked on. Still took it all the way back himself. The backboard, all the way over to Chaussette. He's going to take his time as Freaky with 0 boost and 2 players to be, always going to be up against it, but decent challenge for him at 100 boost. Stolen from the other side. He will certainly be very, very pleased with his own work. Off that backboard, here comes Chaussette. Chronic so quick every single time. Sorry, hunting down for that extra.
Oh,
great block from Astral. No follow-up. Chaussette happy and content with the 1-goal lead. Don't want to overcommit.
No opportunities for BS+ yet. No shots. It's been all Solary. Chaussette looks confident, and Astral is up to his usual antics. And here comes Chaussette, dunks in the 2nd goal off an air dribble. Astral is pressuring the goalie as well, and it is 2-0 for Solary. You're on fire here.
Well, there's many people that I'm jealous of in the Rocket League scene. Godsmiller wasn't one of them. 2v1 on the goal line. Usually just trying to take on that air dribble 50-50 is impossible against Chaussette. You put that extra pressure on. Absolutely no chance. And
probably jealous of that majestic hair though, Shogun, that keeps popping up on the left-hand side of the screen there. Bottom left for Godsmiller, if you want to see his luscious locks there.
I hate that he's got to the part where the hair's long enough and it can work.
Yeah, he's past it. I mean, it's like we talked about Jorby's on the same kind of vibe. Oh, Freaky's got a chance. He's hit the bar. Godsmiller now chasing, but Astral will beat him to that one. That was the first real life we've seen from BS+ in offense this game, and Solary have escaped it. Just over 2 minutes remain.
Farah outpacing, back down to Chaussette. Freaky covers it incredibly well. Freaky at least hasn't put himself out of position yet, but maybe dropping down 0 boost for a challenge that was very well delayed. Not really the best thing for him. Now, Solary have just controlled the midfield. They have not dropped anything. Those 200 boosts belong only to them. It does make escape incredibly difficult. Farah rockets it top corner.
Look at this from Solary. Farah's the last man back here, but he beats a Chronic to the ball. And you know, he does have an advantage in that position because the ball's coming towards him. It's running away from a Chronic, so he's got the confidence to go in on that. But that's something that you don't always see from high-level teams at the moment, especially teams who need wins as desperately as Solary do. That's you know, a 3rd-man commitment, and it's worked out. And again, BS+ offense being shut down. Freaky shot deflected wide by Farah. And the longer this game goes on, the more it swings in Solary's favor.
Well, Chronic is downfield, taps the ball on, will it? Dip in time! Godsmiller will finish it off!
Whoa.
And BS+ have roared back into this game.
What a touch by Chronic, just glances it as it passes him by. And Godsmiller was able to read that downbounce pretty well. Not over yet, BS+ looking to come back in game number 1. Solary have to just try and clamp down on this pressure, and clamp down they do. Another kickoff pressure play from Solary. They seem to be so good at this. Sfera especially, just absolutely perfect decision making wherever the ball bounces after the kickoff takes place. And their 3-goal lead is secure again.
Wow, hope lasted for all of about 5 seconds. That's a new record. Solary just don't have that aura anymore. Maybe, you know, if we get to things like grand finals, oh my goodness, Astral again in the right position. But they have, from full, just got better and better, and it's been slow. It's maybe not been, you know, what we wanted to see from them from the preseason expectations. But they've got there, and they've got there without roster moves, just slowly figuring it all out. And they will now be looking and aiming for regional championships. Sfera just waits for it, another good challenge. But everyone's now trying to chase up on this. Nobody on that side of the field. Freaky wins his, it's over the top, and Chronic will make sure of it.
Still life in this game for BS+. Chaussette carelessly gets dunked on there. Extremely heavy first touch, just invited Freaky in to take it away from him. And yeah, Farah, who was behind him, really didn't expect Chaussette to give it away that freely. Obviously moving up and advancing was risky, but Chaussette has to at least get a 50-50 there. That's got to be the worst case scenario, and he just gets completely clean beat. Again, here come BS+ Freaky. Denied by Farah at close range. They're still coming forward. Chaussette will knock it away. Once again, a Chronic's first to the ball, and it's in the middle. Godsmilla's got a shot. He shoots low, but 2 Solary players are in his way.
That was a very big orange wall being put right in front of him. Now off the backboard, Freaky can't get the second touch. It was so close to being in. Godsmilla wants to keep this push going, but it looks like Solary has survived. And they have got themselves game number 1.
And a late flurry from BS+ had Solary concerned for a moment. But overall, they were the stronger team. Solary did have control of this for the vast majority of the game, the vast majority of what we've just seen. And it's it's all about that start for BS+. They need to start answering these aggressive challenges that Solary are making with a bit more proactivity. If they fall behind by this margin, it's just too difficult to come back at the end of a game.
There, Johnny, that was my smug face. Liquid are up 1-0 against Atlantide.
Wow.
Right, so,
it's a scary bracket, that. You know, nobody wants to go down there to face Liquid because, like Solary, at the very end of the season, they're producing their best Rocket League. So credit to them. You know, these teams were expected to be much higher up in the standings than they currently are, but they're not letting that, completely ruin their whole seasons as they fight till the bitter end in Team Liquid's case, because they are out of the running for top 6. But Solary are in that mix. They're absolutely in with a shot at it. A good shot as well, given how their rivals are struggling, some of them. But they can still keep full control of their destiny if they keep winning. Solary just need 2 more and they're into top 8.
Farah looking for Astral, who is loitering so much today. I mean, not something that we've quite seen from Astral throughout his career. Usually he wants to be across the field as quickly as possible, but it seems like he's got some more trust in his team. Allows himself to be a target man. Over to Farah, ends up just leapfrogging the ball. So it's Freaky. Takes his time, the bumps on the off-ball player means Freaky can sneak it in top corner.
Yeah, what a great piece of placement that was. A Chronic boxes Astral away from the play, and Freaky just taking the direct route there to the top corner. No stops along the way. 1-0 BS+.
They have looked like a different team. Opening 4 minutes of this series really against them. Couldn't figure out how to break away from their side of the field. Well, they've definitely been looking much stronger for it. Farah over to the wall again, Astral. And he is the quicker player. A Chronic has to get himself back. That's doing incredibly quickly because Chaussette was hunting him down. But Farah's had a few weird touches to start off this game. He's going to want to try and clean that up. Chaussette almost goes completely over the ball.
You're absolutely right. It is, a bit more of a messy performance so far for Solary, but the confidence is still there. They're keeping that aggression going. as Chaussette tries to pre-flip into a center ball here. Farah knocks it past the second last defender, but Chronic, third man, has it covered for now. Solary are advancing with the kind of confidence that I've been hoping to see from them. They're really playing for the win here. They're no longer just trying to play it safe and play to not lose, which is how I would describe the first half of their season. But hey, they're losing this game, so there might have been something to that. As a Chronic just sneaks in there, takes the ball away from them and does it all himself. Spots that left-hand side of the goal being completely open.
That is always the danger of those infield passes. You're going to drop it down, it's available for everybody, and nobody had eyes on a Chronic. Fair play, just to get control of it that quickly and put it into a shootable spot. Here's Astral. Chronic again in that position. Farah, far side, Godsmiller palms the ball out. Solary don't seem like they've been deterred. In fact, that 2-0 deficit kind of forces them to sort of double down on what put them into this position. They've got to find goals. Maybe they've got to find a way past a Chronic who is crushing every single challenge, even against his teammates.
Chronic's been outstanding in recent RLCS X events, and he's outstanding today to no surprise, or to the surprise of no one, I should say. What a thorn in Solary's side he's been in Game 2. He's been shutting down Astral in offense. He's been at the center of both of the goals that have happened for this team. And this is the kind of position that any team with Freaky in it wants to be in. Just a couple goals in front and then squeeze out more and more. They really are just juicing Solary here for everything they've got. 3-0, just as comfortable of a lead as Solary ever had.
Yeah, they've looked brilliant. And they've really taken advantage of that offensive line from Solary. You already saw the interception for goal 2. That one, a demo on the third man. Completely wasted the opportunities for Solary. They can't put an extra player in. Solary will have to just keep with it. I hope that they don't go another goal down. It's still within the realm of possibility. But if a Chronic keeps doing this, I gotta say, that realm of possibility didn't last all that long.
Oh, what a move by Chronic. He just dunks on 2 challenges in a row, one of them on the ground, one of them in the air. That's just brilliant. I mean, when you've got the mechanics of a Chronic and you can get into these positions early, you're the player who can adapt at the last second and manipulate the challenge in your favor. You can see there that you just backed away from a 50-50 to force it underneath Solary, and then goes huge against Astral. It's been really just coming out on top of all of his little solo positions. Every time you put him head-to-head with somebody, he's winning, and he's found another way through. It's just too easy for this guy. Another goal for a Chronic, another goal for BS+. This one is absolutely getting away from Solary.
Where's Farah going?
It's a fake challenge. It might not be advised, is how I would describe that one.
I'm going to go for the controller disconnect. That looks more
I'd like to say so, yeah.
Although he did jump out of the fact, we're not going to use that against my point here. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm giving Farah 0 benefit of the doubt on that one. I mean, he wanted to cause Chronic to lose control of the ball, which, you know, technically he did. A Chronic did not technically have control of the ball as it sailed into Solary's net, but at that point he didn't need control. It was already, he'd done the job. So it wasn't a functional fake challenge at all. And oh my goodness, it could have easily been 6 there. This is extremely one-sided. BS+ have been brilliant, leaving no openings for Solary and taking every opportunity, apart from that last one.
I think this series has been a great example of just how quickly momentum shifts in Rocket League. It will give the opening 4 minutes of this series to Solary quite comfortably. And then the following 6 has been all BS+. They have not looked to struggle at all. And Chronic already with himself a hat-trick. Seems like the marker was set earlier on by Nolly, but right now they are looking to follow it, and they are fantastic across the field.
Yeah, disjointed Solary defense. Astral's first challenge there was not quickly followed up by Farah. They're just a bit too far apart, so Godsmill is able to knock the ball past one of them, recover, knock the ball past the second guy as well. You know, Solary have just got to tighten it up a bit to the back. They can't be challenging one after another with big gaps like this. They've got to be more of a unit in defense and more of a unit in the midfield. What we saw from them in game number 1. Or else BS+ will make these solo plays, their possession, their control in game 2 has been the difference in this one. Well, you know, there's probably been a few differences if the score is 6-0, but that's the main one for me.
I think there is one main difference between these two teams, and his name is Acronic. What a game from BS+. They crush Solary in game number 2. And Johnny, last time I got to show you my smug face. This one is going to look a little bit more timid when we come back, because not only have Solary dropped that one in convincing fashion, Land Tidewave may have got themselves a tinsy win that put them to 1-1. Don't you look like that to me, all right? I'm still reasonably confident in my predictions.
I will see how it goes. You know, both series tied up at the moment in Shogun's predictions. So this is getting tense now. The bad news for Solary is that momentum did start to swing in the favor of BS+ before this game even began. And it really shows why you've got to play out a game at this level, even if you are down with not a lot of time left in the game. You know, those late goals can give you that, you know, positive mentality going into the second game or the third game in a series now. Solary didn't pick it up at the end of that game. So it's been, you know, a majority, I'd say, for BS+ in terms of momentum over the course of the series so far.
Now, the one silver lining I will give to Solary is, like we saw last weekend in their series against Queso, they can kind of be all over the place. They didn't use any timeouts against Queso, and there was still quite a few switches in the momentum as the series went along. A lot of very one-sided games. So Solary, despite not having access to a timeout today, we already do know that they have got that experience and got the know-how to make those adjustments across the 1 minute. There is Astral, and he'll walk it in. Made them look silly.
That was beautifully done. Chaussette's pass as well was perfectly struck, by the way. I mean, he just put it in the perfect position for Astral to fake the last man, because Astral knows he's getting to that ball first. The defender knows Astral's getting to that ball first as well, because Chaussette's pass was closer to Astral as it needed to be. But still, to sell the mind game that well, I mean, that's all Astral. Doesn't matter how good the pass are, Astral still had a lot of work to do, and he did brilliantly. Now Chaussette's alone in the back here. Has to make a couple touches, and he does. And now he's got some help from Farah and Astral, so that's great solo defense from Chaussette. His assist, and now his defensive work doing huge wonders for Solary at the moment.
That was so needed. Chaussette making the adjustments from the last game. That's how they got caught for the second goal. It was that infield pass that got them caught out. It almost got them caught this time as well. In comes Chaussette. He's going to go from goal saver to goal scorer.
Chaussette just playing so well. These first touches in defense have been pristine. And look at that for a finish. 3 defenders in front of him, and he puts it past every single one of them. 2-0 Solary. Another momentum swing in a series which, you know, I did expect to be close. Last time we saw these two teams play, it went to game 5. But will we see another late response from BS+ like we saw in game 1?
This is such a Solary series. I've almost got used to this from them at this point. Very, very difficult. Consistent is not what I would call them at the end of the day, but
no,
they are very good when they are on form. They need to keep that up, because we already know that BS+ can figure them out mid-game. Did that in game 1. They'll still be very dangerous to the rest of this one, especially with some demos coming through. We've got a seat as well, just off camera. Astral moving down with it, wants the challenge.
Oh,
that's why!
What?
Well, thanks for coming. You never stood a chance.
How on earth does Astral crush that 50-50 into the net? He had no right scoring there. Absolutely no right. It looked like it was a done deal. Defense have got control of that one. But Astral has just annihilated Freaky in that challenge. You know, it also has to be mentioned, Freaky went on the outside of the ball a bit there. He shouldn't be showing Astral any of the goal. But now Acronic's seen enough of the goal at the other end to put one in with almost no time wasted. And, you know, this is just game 1 again, all over it, as BS+ go down and then fight back nonetheless.
Can we have one of these games where both teams start off in form? Please? I'm done with this now. Let's see then. 2 minutes 40 left. BS+, they know the challenge ahead of them. Another Astral is looking very dangerous offensively. Chronic leaves it for a teammate. It's off the backboard. Astral can't get to it. That one's too high. That one is perfect.
I mean, that'll do. It's not the absolute best play. Top corner was staring at a Chronic here, and there was no recovery coming through for Astral there, so it was an open net miss, technically. But Godzilla there to cover just to make the goal a little bit bigger, and we do have another case of BS Plus fighting back. The grit, the determination from these guys cannot be underestimated. But at the same time, Astral and Chaussette are on a mission in this game. And, you know, you asked for both teams to play a good game at the same time. I think this is it. Chaussette and Astral once again put another goal in. And it's Solary, just like in that first game, extending the lead as BS Plus start to come back.
And again, Freaky just being bullied in this game. Farah went for him, got the bump. No way for Freaky to get back. I don't fear anymore from Solary. I feel like they've just seen the worst of their season and don't care anymore if things go wrong. All three players forward, with them the goal lead. They want to try and always put their best chance forward. Here's an opportunity. Well challenged. In comes Godsmiller. Pass. Chaussette. 7 goals. And I think, Johnny, all of them have been brilliant.
What a touch by Godsmiller. I mean, it's so easy to just let those first touches pass you by and not show them any appreciation, but that was so perfectly done by Godsmiller. He's chipped it up in the perfect position that he can get to the ball first, and there's no way that the defender's got a chance if they just sit on the goal line and wait for the shot. So brilliant by Godsmiller. I mean, just brilliant by everybody in the field here in this game. First touches have been absolutely on point. It's great to see.
Freaky, I don't know if he missed or if he left it for himself. Either way, his team's in a bit of trouble. What a game of Rocket League we have been treated to. Chronic gonna go by himself up against Farah on the challenge. Freaky was the first one to support. Astral daring anybody to come and challenge him. Godsmiller knew that time was on his side. Maybe not on the side of his team, heading into the final minute. A miss from Astral. That might be crucial. Pass over to the far side. Nobody around. Nobody on BS Plus wants to give away this pressure for free. They'll be desperate to get the challenge in. That's always the work of Astral. He doesn't go for the complete outplay anymore. He just wants to make sure he sets up his follow-up teammate for the best challenge.
That's open, but it's off the bar.
Goodness.
Astral probably didn't realize to the last second that that net was wide open. I think Freaky either missed the boost in the corner or he was waiting for it to spawn. Either way, you expect somebody to be there. But Astral has hit the bar and the lead remains at 1. Or does it? And Chronic's equalized. And this didn't look like it was going to go through either. What is going on here? Farah had him beat to this, but he's missed his touch. A Chronic reads the whiff, scores the double, and we have a 4-4 score in Game 3.
A Chronic had an open net. He had the opportunity to score a 3 out of 10. He chose to score a 7. Now has a chance to add another one to it. Said it before, I'll say it again. What a game. And we still need at least one more goal. Chaussette wants to try and get there. Godsmiller not only gets to the ball, but he also avoids Astral. Across the face of goal. Nobody around for BS Plus. Godsmiller leaves it for Freaky. Waits to see if Chaussette will provide some sort of mistake. Doesn't happen. Back over to Godsmiller. Beats one player. That should be in a perfect position for Farah to play it. Into the backboard. Godsmiller brings it down. Up goes Freaky!
Oh!
And Chaussette will prevent it.
What pass, Godsmiller giving his team a chance with no time left on the clock. And towards the end of this game, it's been mostly BS Plus that have been pressuring Solary, who have a lot more on the line here. Their season, their chances to make major and championships are absolutely on the cards here. Well, BS Plus competition, what a performance once again, showing they're not just a one tournament wonder as they take it to one of the best teams in Europe.
Farah, not much boost, wants the challenge, gets a decent one. The bounce does slow the offense a little bit. Now to Chaussette. How much boost does Farah have left? How much does he really want to commit to this? Just need to get that challenge. Now drops it down. BS Plus stuck on the defensive.
Oh my. Is that a team bump? I think it was, but Farah's got the defense locked down here for a moment there. I think Astral and Chaussette collided. They still haven't gotten back into a full clean rotation. The BS Plus have failed to capitalize. As Godsmiller lobs it up into the middle. Is Freaky there? He is going to arrive late, but too late. As both teams adopt a bit more of a deeper third man position, the pressure has been eased off. This overtime could go on for a while.
Godsmiller would rather it didn't. Comes to the other side of the field. Will steal boost. And that allows him to continue the pressure. Now off the ceiling. Who's going to be first to this one? Both players colliding with Astral. Recovers midair. Takes it to the other side. Now off the backboard, Farah almost found Chaussette on the rebound. Players were around, but how is the boost looking right now for BS Plus? Everyone lower than 40. They need a boom and clear. Godsmiller provides.
This is the worst thing you can see when everybody's boost starved. Astral's flying through the air at you with the ball. But they're doing well here, despite the entire team being pretty boost starved for an extended period of time. But how are they going to stop this? Farah to the crossbar. Chaussette's there. Godsmilla's able to beat him to it. Still is BS Plus just hanging on. But Solary have eased off the pressure. Like I said, they aren't aggressing with their third man like they were earlier. I think realizing, okay, we might need to take it easy here. We're getting scored on, 6 in the last game, 4 in this game. We might have to tighten up in defense.
Godsmiller wanted a pass. Freaky won't be able to run onto it for a shot quite like he wanted, but does still keep the ball away from any orange car. Now back midfield, Godsmiller will be unchallenged off the double! It's in the crossbar! In comes Freaky! And BS Plus have won a cracking match!
Oh, Godsmiller was so close to scoring this. And then I think Freaky's touch, wow, it was close to having the same result as Godsmiller. Just bouncing straight down, but it's gone in. Off the challenge. And BS Plus Competition, from 3 goals down, have won game 3 of this match. They've got 2 games here, 2 chances.
Wow.
Going straight through the upper half of the knockout gauntlet and into the top 8 once again. And Solary, we said they're in the major already, but every point matters for them. They, they need to start accumulating points to catch up to the teams ahead of them if they're going to make top 6 and not only qualify for the major this split, but also the championships at the end of the season.
I'm just soaking that one all in, mate. That was one of those games of Rocket League that you just appreciate. And BS Plus, once again, fighting back. You mentioned it during that game, showing that grit. And, Chronic aside, we speak so much about Chronic, but they've got players on there that have been forced over and over again to listen to the fact that, hey, we're going to move you on. We think that you're not quite the right player for us in the terms of Godsmiller and Freaky. That's a sense that they've had to get accustomed to throughout their career. And they're sick of it at this point. They want to prove that they can come together and create their own superstar roster.
Yeah, and you're absolutely on something there. All the talk about Chronic being the guy for this team, but yeah, how about Godsmilla's finishing in this game and just completely forcing Solary to submit in so many positions? They've done well, and they need a full team performance to beat Solary on a day like this. Solary are playing some good Rocket League. Oh, but a dunk on Chronic's put them one down again! And these goals are just coming out of nowhere. How does a Chronic come up with this?
Off the ceiling, drops.
What?
And he's dunked him.
How? How does he think to even try and dunk on that clear? He had no boost.
He should be going back.
Yeah, he had no boost.
Ball should be, I'm heading to defense now. This play is over. A Chronic doesn't think like that.
It's just crazy to see, because you can see when you watch his perspective on that, he's going for something here, and he's just done a pre-jump save on Farah's shot now. Chronic, give us a chance to appreciate your last play before you whip out the next brilliant one.
Off the post.
We can't keep up with this guy. Can't keep up with this team. BS Plus in the lead in this game. It's theirs to lose.
Over to Farah, who might feel like he had the best chance to win it for his team in the last overtime. Now he's been dunked on from what is quite frankly a miraculous jump and a hope from a Chronic. This one less of that. Great pass to Freaky. Slots it in bottom corner.
And this is getting desperate. A Chronic has just done it again. beats Farah to the ball, knocks it past Josette as well. You know, every team in the world these days, you need a player like this. Just, you know, we did big up Godspill and Freaky. I think they've done everything they've had to do this series, but still, Acronic stealing the spotlight, taking out multiple players all by himself on every single play. But he's not done. Pinch shot was on target. Josette got in the way of it. Time is left in this game for Solary to work with, but how on earth are they going to stop BS Plus on a day like this?
Stumpy Goblin and 29% of our viewers are about to be very, very happy with their prediction if this stays as it is. Josette, though, with a bit of time.
Oh!
What was that?
Oh, that was a little bit of spice from Josette, but it has gone off target.
Johnny, you're the 1v1 guy here. You know all the flicks. What was that called?
Well, that's kind of a wave dash pop if I was to give it a name. But, you know, Josette's just trying anything to get that ball past the last defender there. You know, whether it goes on target or not, he's giving his team a chance because it does end up in the box. Just nobody following up quickly enough. As Solary's aggression has calmed down. I think they've got to go back to what they did earlier in the series, just throw everything forwards, especially when you're already down by 2. Okay, well, that's one way of doing it, but not exactly what I had in mind. Say double commit for an aerial. A BS Plus comfortably holding on to a lead, just like they did in game 2.
Booming clear, Freaky one-shot set. Almost got enough of him. 2-goal lead. Just staring directly at Solary right now, taunting them. And it's only going to be a 1-goal lead.
Oh dear.
That is a slip-up.
Yeah, in a game and a series that's been full of just perfect defensive touches, Freaky has shown us what happens when you don't get it absolutely right. He's tried to take that one under control, get behind it. You know, worst case scenario, 50-50. Best case scenario, he can maybe get a flick, but he's not hit it in the right direction. And there's no way that he can catch back up to it. It's 1 goal comes through for Solary off a BS Plus misplay.
Astral gets it to Josette. They're only a goal down. Freaky wants a bit better for himself this time. Does get it to Acronic, who really runs with power. And somehow, this guy's a magician. I have no idea how he does some of these things. What a hit. And Freaky will keep it away from his net. But there is the consistent threat from Acronic. You think he's done from the play. You plan around him. No, he's not done just yet.
Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, to pull a flip reset out in that position and then threaten a goal, I mean, that's just an angle that Solary can't have been expecting to have to make a save from. Oh, what a save by Farah, by the way. He's had to dodge at the last second on that one. Keeping his team 1 goal behind. And now Acronic Such is actually taking Freaky out of the play, but fast recoveries are coming through for BS Plus, and they keep Solary on the back foot.
Back to midfield, Acronic. He can follow this. He's got the boost. He takes it the whole way. I mean, wow.
Yeah, just wow.
Wow.
That's just unreal. Like, this guy is unreal. Acronic has just been too good in this game. He was too good in game 2. I think game 3, it was, you know, the whole team making that effort to come back from 3 goals down, and the determination that has come from the seasons they've had really shone through. But wow, just wow. Acronic has been unbelievable in this game. And Solary are speechless. Solary are in a big awkward position now. Because if they get sent to the lower bracket here, if they get sent to the lower knockout gauntlet, I should say, what on earth happens next?
It's going to be across the other side of the field. But with their chances at major on the line, BS Plus have come up with an exquisite performance. They really have. And in a lobby with Astral in it, one of the most talked about players in 2019 and 2020, with Josette in there, who has crushed his way through some of the best DreamHack tournaments we've seen. There's only one player everyone's going to talk about, and that is Acronic.
Just unbelievable. Acronic is the truth as they advance. BS Plus Competition, formerly Godsmilla's team. Affectionately known as Acronic's team because of games like this. But yeah, they're through to the top 8 once again.
Wow.
as their season it's not over. It's not over just yet. You know, these guys are still putting in the results. They're not done putting up incredible performances and farming fans. But, oh man, Solary, another heartbreak for them. It just never gets easy for this team. They've got to beat that Lantide wave to make top 8. And that is going to be far from easy given their recent track record of results.
Yeah, that sort of means I got both of my predictions wrong. But hey, we're not going to linger on that whatsoever. Okay, Johnny, I need you to get both your predictions wrong so we can both be the same. And we're going to find out whether or not he will after this break.